Whether you're thinking about jumping into RAIDOU Remastered for the first time or you've already played the original, you need to get ready because this game really drops you into one of the more bizarre yet fascinating corners of the Shin Megami Tensei universe. You're a demon summoning detective in Taisho era Japan, unraveling a supernatural mystery that's only gonna get stranger the deeper that you go. As your resident murder mystery whodunit senior correspondent, and I have Goto here with me, we're going to be breaking down everything you need to know from story setup to the gameplay mechanic changes and what makes this remaster worth your time. This video is sponsored by Sega Atlus, and if you haven't already picked up RAIDOU Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army, it's going to be available right now on several platforms. Check out the link in the description down below for you to grab your copy. But if you're brand new to RAIDOU, don't worry, this is the perfect place for you to start. We're going to kick things off with the quick overview of the RAIDOU franchise before we dive into what's new in this remastered. RAIDOU Remastered: The Mystery of the Soulless Army is a modern upgrade of the original Devil Summoner RAIDOU Kuzunoha vs. the Soulless Army, which was released exclusively on PlayStation 2 back in 2006. This remaster is going to bring a ton of quality of life updates that makes the experience feel fresh, while still keeping things true to the original Unique's charm and style and offering it on multiple platforms as opposed to being a PlayStation 2 exclusive. Now, if you've never played a RAIDOU game before, don't worry, you are not alone. I was in that same boat just a few weeks ago, and it's literally my job to cover JRPGs, so I've been kind of diving back into the past as new ones and remasters come out. But before diving into this one, I actually checked out Atlas West's video series, The Principles of RAIDOU, on their YouTube channel, and it's the perfect intro to what this series is all about. As a newcomer, hey, I'm not gonna lie, it really got me hyped, and it helped me finalize my decision to finally give this game a shot. And if you want to check it out too, I'm gonna have that linked in the video description down below. And trust me, it's a great starting point, but don't check it out until you're done with this video because I'll have it linked right after. Now let's start setting the premise of the story. The story starts with a young heiress calling into the Nairumi Detective Agency with a request for someone to kill her. On your way to confront her in person and figure out her reasoning, you witness her kidnapping. Now it's going to be up to you though, RAIDOU, a rookie detective devil summoner, to figure out what is actually going on. And you're going to step into RAIDOU's shoes and team up with some of your favorite demons from the Shin Megami Tensei franchise as allies and dig into the mystery that really quickly turns into a bigger conspiracy that's going to shake the entire nation. Now, I mentioned that I didn't play the original, but I did do some digging into what is exactly different between this game and its original version, and there are several quality of life changes and tons of enhancements. Let's dive into some specifics. The first and most obvious thing is the massive facelift with the HD visual overhaul, and you can see the side-by-side comparison of just how much more detailed things are and how much changed. Now, some of the quality of life features that they changed are going to be accessing objectives is much easier now. There's a brand new UI change which makes a significant difference, and my personal favorite quality of life change is that there's going to be full voice acting for a majority of the story. They've also overhauled the battle system, which we're going to get into those specifics when we get to that section. And the big change with that a lot of you guys that played the original are going to be pleased to know is that you now have the ability to move the camera around freely during battles. And then lastly, something that's going to be unique to the RAIDOU series, and this isn't maybe necessarily a new thing, but more just for those that are new to the franchise, you're going to be able to walk around as a demon as you investigate cases. That's something that I never thought that I would say because it's such a unique take on the formula. It's also not just a gimmick either. You're going to be navigating around with your demon partners to solve mysteries, as well as using their investigative skills to solve different types of puzzles that the game throws at you. An easy example of this that you're going to experience early is getting your demons to help you read the minds of different NPCs so you can understand what dialogue options you need to say them to get the information you need to continue on with your investigation. But now that I've given you what's new, the story preview, let's go ahead and get into the battle system so that way you can understand that in depth. I made a save file very early in the game, so that way you guys don't have to worry about being spoiled when I give you this demo. But let's go ahead and discuss the combat. Let me jump into a battle. When you get into a battle, you're going to have your two demons with you, and they're going to be available, and you can also summon different ones by swapping them out. So this is my roster right now, and on the left we have their different combat skills. and I can swap them out for my 2 active summons. Now things are going to be action based, where I can use my different attacks, which you can see on the bottom right, to do different heavy attacks, light attacks. Heavy attacks are going to deal the damage but not build up my meter, and then light attacks are also going to build up my meter. We have, if you hit the right trigger, you have different elemental abilities that you can do to exploit enemy weaknesses to dish out more damage. And then you can let your AI party members know to stop using abilities and just attack and worry about building up meters, or you can have them begin using abilities again. Another thing that you can do is you can call them to yourself to protect them, and this is going to come in handy when you're fighting against bosses where you're not able to dodge the attacks. You literally only can jump to dodge things. Now the party members are AI, but you are able to control them. You can also analyze your enemy to see their different weaknesses, but when you're controlling them, you can actually issue out commands to your different summons and have them do different skills. Now they're going to cost you that meter, that green meter, and that's going to be built up, like I said earlier, by doing different light attacks. And then you can have your summons execute those abilities as you build up that meter. And then if you get a perfect dodge or deal enough damage, you're able to do that ability right there that you guys just saw me do, which is going to do massive chunks of damage. And it's also something that enhances and benefits being skillful, because you get that prompt when you get a perfect dodge primarily, or when you break the enemy. Now, speaking of the demon allies, each is going to have a special set of skills, and there's going to be over 120 different demons, with 70 of them being new, that you're going to be able to use to investigate your cases with. And so we see that each have a set of combat skills, passive abilities, and investigative skills, which are going to be, like I said, used to help you when you're doing your investigations. 120 demons is a lot in itself, and with 70 of them being new, you're going to be able to get into some of those with this fusion chart, which if you've played other Shin Megami Tensei games before, this doesn't come as a surprise, but we're going to be able to fuse our different demons that we get to make stronger ones, and Neku Shogun is actually one of the new ones added from SMT5. There are a few more, but I'm not going to spoil all of them. That's just to give you a little bit of taste of what you can expect. Now, just to give my TLDR opinion, I do think this game is well beyond worth it. I feel like they've provided enough, in my opinion, to justify calling it a remake and not a remaster, but I get why they went the remastered route. But with the enhanced visuals, the extra additions, the combat, as well as how many new demons they added on an old fan favorite, and I feel like this gets the remastered route because they want those fans to know that this is still true to the original source material. That's going to conclude my thoughts. Thank you once again, Sega Atlus, for sponsoring this video. And if you haven't already picked up RAIDOU Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army, it's going to be available right now on several platforms. Check out the link in the description down below for you to grab your copy. And I also mentioned the principles of the RAIDOU series earlier on in the video, so I'll have that linked right here for you to check out next. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you on the next one.